Hi everyone, sorry for the bad lighting and me looking all distraught. I came off of work, but I am Rita Pierre. I currently attend King University and this is my proposal. Okay, so I had wrote about the antibiotic resistance in bacteria. So I chose this topic because it is a major global health issue that threatens the mankind, us as humans. It is about the overuse and abuse of antibiotics that resulted in the rise of drug-resistant bacteria that's making illnesses more difficult to cure and raising the risk of death. So for one example, I could say that everyone might know of is atopical steroids. If you have eczema, you know that you use steroids to put on your skin, and they're steroids. It's supposed to, I guess, reduce inflammation and itchiness of the area. So if you go on TikTok or Instagram or YouTube and you search up atopical steroid withdrawal, you will see that the person's skin is going through a really strong withdrawal. It's like a drug withdrawal. Of course it is. Someone who's going through a alcohol withdrawal, a drug withdrawal, it's the same thing, but it's attacking their skin. And I'll have to say it looks pretty painful, and they're really strong individuals. That is one example, like an easy example I could give out there. For example, there's a lady out there who is in Mexico trying to heal her skin with their salt water, and kudos to her. That seems very painful, but it looks like it's working out for her. It's because like their skin got so addicted to the steroid treatments and the steroids going into their skin. It's become like one with them, and their skin is now just like reacting backwards how it's not supposed to, because it's supposed to work with them. Now it's working against their body because their body is so used to it now, and is basically just making enemies. It's supposed to be their best friend. It's supposed to be the skin's best friend, but right now it's not, because their body has been so used to it. So in this topic, I hope to help create like different techniques for combating the antibiotic resistance, such as like discovery of new medicines and the development of alternative treatment options, and the implementation of successful stewardship programs. Understanding the causes of antibiotic resistance and developing strategies to combat it is critical for maintaining the efficiency of current antibiotics and assuring the long-term success of medical therapies. Because we have all this money in the world, at least we could find something that could help, someone who's going through antibiotic resistance, because their bodies got so used to it and it's just not working for them. I hope we could find something, a different strategy to help them. So this speech or this topic is to examine the molecular underpinnings of the antibiotic resistance, and to investigate the novel approaches to antibacterial drug development, and to build effective surveillance and monitoring systems to prevent the spread of the resistance. We could hopefully we could find like holistic ways to treat certain medicine, like to treat certain how do I say, diseases and such stuff like that, because a lot of people do go overseas. Let's just say like the Caribbean islands, like people do go over there to get holistic treatment for like cancer or like liver diseases. Sometimes people do go the vegan route, which is a holistic route, and it does help them, and I might say it's pretty good. Like I'm not the type of person who's into holistic treatments, but to see what natural food and organic food could do to you and not eat meat, like going vegan, like I can see it. It helps for certain people. I'm of Caribbean descent, and one thing that we do when we do feel under the weather, we do get lime and we do get honey. So we put the honey in the cup and we cut up a lime. Either you squeeze half of it or whole. I personally like to do whole. Lime, no lemon. And squeeze it into the cup and take it like, and just drink it. Take it as a shot. It's supposed to soothe you. It soothes me. When I feel like my throat is itchy, I take it. Another thing is chewing on ginger. I did that with a really bad sore throat, and it was painful, but nonetheless, it did work. So that is another holistic treatment, I may say, that did work because I don't know. It's just part of growing up for me. Sorry everyone, I had to cut it short. I do have a little one at home, so I did not want to put screaming behind. I did record this multiple times, so I can't really do a straight shot. I had to cut it short a little bit, but I'm back. So let's see, we're going to go through the introduction. It is understanding antibiotic resistance. So there is a threat to the global health. So the development of antibiotic resistance in bacteria, it increases the risk of death, and it makes diseases more difficult to cure, which I did state, which sucks. Like, just say somebody who is getting cancer treatment, sometimes the body just gets used to the chemo, and then the body's like, hey, like, I'm used to the chemo, you know? So it's just like, it's not a win-win situation for the person, because the person is getting the chemo and sometimes radiation, and your body's just not reacting the way you want it to react, and your body just like, hey, this is like part of our body now, let's just accept it for what it is. Okay, so the reasons for resistance is like the overuse and misuse of antibiotics, have bred drug resistant bacteria, which undermines the efficiency of available therapies. So like your body just gets too used to the antibiotic, you know, so it doesn't work anymore. So there is a public health impact. The need to fight antibiotic resistance is an urgent, because it causes millions of illnesses and hundreds of deaths each year, which is unfortunate. There is the molecular processes of antibiotic resistance. Researching the genetic and metabolic routes, such as the creation of the resistant enzymes and the modifications of antibiotic targets that allow bacteria to dodge the effects of antibiotics. So if you kind of catch the drift by now, you know, your body gets used to antibiotic, it gets used to the treatments, and then your body saying, we're besties now, we're friends, come on, let's party together, and that is not a good thing. We do not want that. Okay, so the emergence of bacterial species that are resistant to various classes is a significant public health concern. One way to address this issue is by comprehending the mechanisms underlining this like crazy phenomenon, you know? It's like all molecular strategies. The novel approaches to antibacterial drug development. Sorry, it's been a long day, worked overnight, crazy stuff. The study aims to investigate the screening of both natural and synthetic compounds, like to repurpose currently repurpose currently available drugs, and produce new antimicrobial agents through through different methodologies, you know, just running through the databases. Gotta make new drugs, gotta figure out like how they made the vaccines. Like, they could do it, but you know, I don't want to get into, you know, these whole other side. I just want to focus on my presentation. So so tackling the resistance is like creating substitute therapeutic approaches, such as, you know, bacteriophage therapy and antimicrobial peptides, to tackle the issue of the resistance. Another one is a global surveillance and monitoring. So promoting infection control strategies and antibiotic stewardship, it's innovative. It's to stop the emergence of resistant microbes, and it's known as antimicrobial stewardship. If you're getting kind of lost, I'm going to pin down the links that I used to research everything, so you could go one by one, and I can also possibly just do like a little rough draft, or to put like little notes on the bottom so you guys could, you know, go along with it, like to read along if you more of like a visual learner instead of like a listener. So back to it. A global cooperation is putting in place of extensive monitoring programs based on the WHO's reports on antimicrobial resistance to spot new trends in resistance and direct public health initiatives. So we're going to get into the methods. Okay, so another first method is molecular processes and antibiotic resistance. The research focus is examining the molecular mechanisms in bacteria that give rise to antibiotic resistance, with particular attention on genetic and metabolic ways. Another one is to finding potential targets, you know, finding like new innovative therapy targets that could successfully counteract antibiotic resistance. So it's like finding new ways to target the antibiotics and to tackle them. It's like they're wrestling, you know, they want to take down the resistance, you know. That's the easiest way I can explain it. It's like wrestling. Here are some antibiotic resistant mechanisms. Sorry, I'm just stuttering. I'm really exhausted. Examining drug targets, change enzymatic antibiotic degradation is the influx pumps as important as bacterial resistance strategies. There is multi-drug resistance. It's recognizing the threat posed by microorganisms that are resistant to multiple drugs and the necessity of developing efficient treatment plans. Okay, next topic, or a next method I may say, is the novel antibacterial drug development. Examining cutting-edge approaches, the creation of antibacterial drugs, such as repurposing already approved drugs and screening both synthetic and natural compounds. So it's basically like running it through the database and just like making, let's just say, I'm kind of trying to figure out how to easily explain it to you, but you kind of get it. Another one is increasing antibiotic efficiency. It's creating novel antimicrobial substances to combat the growing danger of resistant microbes. It's basically just like to cut it out, like just X it all out. Like, we don't want it here. Like, we don't want you. It's like a bully. We don't want the bully in the room. We want the bully out the room. That's the easy way to say it. Another one is combating the resistance of the antibiotic. A multidimensional strategy is used like by stressing the necessity of the multifaceted strategy that combines clinical practice, policy, and research in order to successfully tackle antibiotic resistance. So it's basically going through like a whole long list of testing and everything in the lab. There's like an impact on the world, stressing the significance of the global cooperation and observation to stop the development of antibiotic resistant microorganisms. So there is a big impact on the world, and a lot of people don't really know about it, which is unfortunate, because do you think, like, I don't want to say the government, but do they want other people, like the outside world, to know like it's a major problem, because pharmaceuticals are getting our money in the insurance? So it's like it's a win-win for them, but it's not a win for us. You know, we want to feel better. We don't want like our antibiotics to work against us. We want it to work with us and to help us feel better in what we're dealing with. So my conclusion, the strategy on focusing on resistant mechanisms involve anticipating addressing particular bacterial activities linked to antibiotic resistance may enhance the efficiency of existing antibiotics and surmount resistant mechanisms. some treatment plans, I'm sorry, anticipating that the research will produce effective drug candidates and the treatment plans to fight bacterial infections that are resistant to antibiotics. Sorry, my light literally just went out, so I'm gonna wrap this up a little bit. And there is a global health priority, like emphasizing the necessity of a diverse approach to effectively take antibiotic resistance and the critical importance of tackling this issue for global health. There's a potential impact. I'm gonna wrap this up a little bit quicker than I'm expected to because my light. Expecting that the study findings will help foster a more sustainable healthcare system, will reduce the incidence of antibiotic resistant disease and improve patient outcomes. So I hope you liked or enjoyed this presentation. I wanted to be more friendly, homey, instead of just, hey, I'm making a presentation. This is the day of my life. This is how I am. This is how I talk. I just wanted to be friendly, like, you know, FaceTime. But I will be listing the references down below so you could look at what I did, how I did my research, and everyone can have access to it. So thank you once again.